Hey Bill, how you doing, buddy? Hey, listen, this little video I'm making for you about your Aqua dial. This thing is a real gem. Boy, they just don't make these anymore at all. They're so rare to find. You're so lucky to have it. So the first exam on this, barely see the stamping of the lettering on the side here in the cast iron. It says Aqua dial on it. Everything's pretty clean. And of course on the top, I'm looking and it says Aqua dial on the lid. And first observation I'm looking at, let me zoom in there a little bit. It says 5/16 and 90. Well, that's your nozzle size is 5/16, and the 90 is going to be a 90-degree arc, so a quarter circle if the motor inside says the same. So let's take a look here and see. You had already loosened it or at some point, so it made it a little easy. And you notice this is spinning all the time too, by the way. And that tells me that the drive dog is not engaged or something's not right with it. Because it should be locked up all the time. Should only have a little bit of movement about like this when you don't have when the drive dog's engaged. So there we go. So I'll take the motor out if I can. Come on out of there, you. All right. And sure enough, the motor right there says 90 on it. So it's going to be a quarter of a circle. So the drive dog should attach to the bottom of the stem assembly, and it's missing altogether. So I'll take this stem back out. So I noticed the drive dog is missing, and also I've noticed that you're missing a washer that goes in here as well in the bottom of the head. It's like a little hard fiber washer, so it'll seal when it goes together. So that's missing as well. So, and how this will work on the drive dog, this little notches here, they're in the stem assembly. There should be something coming out of there that will coincide with this notch right here, so that the head can slide up and down when it goes on. So anyways, it's missing and it just freely spins and it'll never engage to do anything. So Bill, I got one of my rattier Aqua dial catalogs. It has just enough information for what we want to do, and it's kind of hard to see it, but you can see right here in the breakdown, the drive dog assembly is going to be right here at number 10. Oops, oh, there we go, right there. And it's missing, but anyways, and I'm looking at this here a little closer on the side, and I think that you have, let's see, sprinklers manufactured prior to June 1st of 65 cannot be removed. Maybe you do have the newer version. The new style versions can be used after the old style version is removed, because the nozzles, this does not break apart here, this top head. On the older ones, I think they used to. So somehow the nozzles were able to go right on in from the outside, but they must have had a special tool to do them, and I certainly don't have that. But that definitely looks like a big 5/16 nozzle. So, but anyways, again, I'm just glad to see you even have the have this thing, and it sure looks good. So we're going to continue on to the fun part of making a drive dog. So in doing that, trying to figure out how to make it and how this would go up and down, there has to be a piece that would connect the dots there and engage, but also slide up and down. So I was looking around in my old plumbing stuff, and I was looking at 3/4 copper pipe, 3/4 fittings, etc., etc. And if you notice inside here, there is this is kind of reamed in there and milled. And it just so happens to be the same outside diameter as a 3/4 inch copper fitting. It goes right on in there, and it stops at a certain depth. Now this one happened to be a little loose, which I didn't like. I was digging around in my old stuff, and I found another one that slides in there, but it's snug, and that's what I want. It'll go in there, and it's snug just like that. Perfect. So what I did, this one's already been hacked up, and I've actually used a piece off of here to make the drive dog. So I found a piece of wire, old house wire, but real thick. It kind of go right in there, lay in there in the channel of the bottom of the stem. Plus, it will go inside of the channels here, so it can slide up and down when the head goes on and off. So this, I don't know whether this is number 10 or what size wire that is, but I found a short piece. That's all I had, and it works. So after measuring and figuring things out, I made it out of copper and the copper wire, the drive dog. So this is that part of the hub out of there, off that copper fitting. And I was able to drill this out to the precise size to accept the copper wire, but not go in too deep, and cut them at the right length. And then I soldered them together, just like that. So now what this will do, this will go into the stem, like so, just like that. Presses right on in there, and it'll go. I had it in there once already. Anyways, it'll go all the way down into the notch. So this will be flat with the stem, and then this will go, when it's all together, will go right on in there and slide up and down. You see it now, it's locked. So when the head goes up and down, it'll slide like this, just like that. So we'll put this back together, and we'll try it out here and see what it does. It's getting exciting. Here we go. So I was able to get the drive dog fully pressed in there. And now you can see how this is going to work before I put it all back together. So we'll go right on in there, just like that. I'll be able to slide up and down. Head goes on, head goes off. Also, to put this stem back onto the upper head assembly, I did manage to come up with a fiber washer. It wasn't quite the right size. I kind of had to play with it to get it in there. But it will work for what we want to do. So, all right, let's go a little further. All right, we'll put the upper head assembly back together. We'll put the stem back in there. And here's the upper head. It now has the fiber washer in there. I'll have to snug it up a little bit, but let's see how this looks now on this drive dog. Yay! Should work fine. We're getting close. Okay, I got the upper head all put back together, and we're going to put this motor back in, or the turbine. It's so hard to see inside this body because it's so dark in there, but there is a little notch in there for this right here to line up with. So I'm going to see if I can do this. There we go, we got it. And then on the upper head here, I'm going to put a little bit of lube on here, a little bit of something to keep these threads from seizing up. And it makes it so much easier to get apart later if you have to. You did a great job of cleaning this thing up. I hate to put too much on it, but this will help out in the long run. And I'll put a little bit inside the body of the iron too. All right. Let's see how this goes. Hey, look at that. See that? It dropped right on in under the drive dog. Got the threads to catch. Here we go. Off we go. Finish tightening this up. And I'll finish snugging that up with some wrenches. And then we'll go out and try it out. All right, here we go. Just saw at the gauge over there, it's running at about 60 pounds as it's working. And here's a performance table for it. 5/16 nozzle is 60 pounds. You're about 21.8 gallons per minute. Radius coverage in feet 60. There we go. This Aqua dial is just running perfectly, and it puts out a real nice uniform coverage from the head all the way out to its furthest reaches.